Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Hardboiled English Live. On this show, I answer and investigate your questions about the English language, your English mysteries. I'm your humble host and grammar detective, Paul Duke. Welcome back to the show, anyone who's watched before. And if this is the first time you've watched, welcome aboard. Each week, I investigate and analyze an English mystery or a question about English grammar that a viewer has sent me in a short video clip. And we've got an excellent question tonight. If you'd like me to answer an English mystery of yours, please email me a short video clip, like less than 30 seconds, and I will build a show around it. Now, you can find my email address in the description box below, but I'll also post it here so you can write it down. It's hardboiledenglish6@gmail.com. And you can email me a video clip directly to there, and I will build a show around your question, okay? In the meantime, I would like to say welcome to the show, and tell me what country you're watching from. Tell me your name, because what happens when I stream live to Facebook groups, for example, all I see is Facebook user in your comments. I don't actually see your name. So say hello, please, and tell me what country you're watching from. So far I see Chris Derboven from Belgium. Welcome to the show. Whoops, sorry guys. Welcome, Chris. We also have Maki Utsumi with us. Good evening, Maki. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Who else is with us? We have, yes, Maki from Japan. Welcome, Maki. I also see my friend, well, I'm not sure how to pronounce that name, but let me try. And I'm sorry if I get it wrong, but I see Vijayasingh Vijay. Vijayasingh Vijay. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it, but I'd like to learn how to say your name. Anyway, welcome to the show. Great to have you with us. From Sri Lanka. Wonderful. Great, great, great. Hope you're doing well tonight. But I guess it's morning in Sri Lanka. Who else is here? We also have Katya. Katya's with us. Hello, Katya. Welcome to the show. Great to have you with us, Katya. Who else is joining us? Tonight we have an excellent English mystery to investigate, and we'll get to that shortly. And Katya is in Peru. Katya Alexandra from Peru. Great to have you with us. Thank you for joining us. Who else is out there? If you're just joining the show now, guys, please say hello in the comment box and tell me what country you're watching from. So far we have Belgium, Japan, Sri Lanka, and Peru in the house. Welcome, 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 guys. Looks like we have people watching on YouTube and Facebook, which is wonderful. Recently, Facebook changed its streaming setup, and I was a little bit concerned that you wouldn't see it, but looks like you do, so that's great. I would say it's probably best to watch the show from YouTube. YouTube's got a very high quality picture, high definition, and you can find other videos on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't already, I recommend going to my YouTube channel, which is called The Grammar Detective, and subscribe, please, because you'll get access to this show every week. You'll get notified when it's live. You'll be able to see the other videos and other projects that I'm working on. Another thing I wonder if you can help me with. Not long ago, I streamed on a Friday night. It's Friday night where I am. But the picture quality was really soft and fuzzy. It shouldn't be like that. I use a high definition camera in 4K, and most of the platforms like YouTube and Facebook allow high definition streaming. So please tell me if the picture is soft and fuzzy, or if it's high definition and okay. Please tell me in the comments, because I can't tell. I can look at it on my phone, I believe, but the phone is deceiving because it's small and everything looks high definition when we look at it on a phone. So let me just check here. So it helps me if you can tell me what it looks like. Does the picture look good or not? On my phone it looks okay, but it is hard to tell. So I'm going to rely on you guys. In a couple minutes we'll get to our English mystery. Just want to say hello to everyone who's out there. Pardon me, guys, a little bit of technical. You may have noticed, but sometimes. Oh, we have another person joining us now. This is Aya H. Okay, thank you, Aya. Great to hear that. It looks amazing on YouTube. Excellent. Thank you. Aya, are you watching from Canada or are you in Japan at the moment? Aya, she goes back and forth. But haven't seen you in a while, Aya, so I hope you're well. Okay. And again, guys, if you want to send me a video with your grammar question, please email it directly to me at hardboiledenglish6@gmail.com. Okay? Less than 30 seconds. You'll see tonight's example of what I do with the video. I take the video, I put some graphics on it, make it a little bit more fun for the show, and then that forms the main question of the show. In the past, what I used to do with this show was just answer random questions, but I found that sometimes people didn't have questions and there'd be dead air time. So I thought it better if I framed the show with a question and then you guys can ask questions about that question, if that makes any sense. Oh, here's Aya. Vancouver, good. I am, Aya, thank you very much. Yeah, okay. Chris has something. She says, the quality in Facebook looks better than on YouTube. That's interesting. Usually it's, technically speaking, it should be the other way around, but that's interesting. Okay, I'm going to look into that. Guys, I'm going to ask you a question. I'd like to know something. Because I'm going to talk about this a little bit later in the show, but I'd like to know what grammar books you have used that you enjoyed or that you found useful and helpful. Do you remember any grammar books you used in school or grammar books you have purchased to study? Just curious, because I'm going to do a little segment where I introduce my favorite grammar books, and I thought it would be useful if I heard from you guys what your favorites are. So put in the comment thread any grammar books or English books. Yeah. Anyone have a favorite? Anyone have a favorite? And guys, if I see a couple of viewers that I don't know yet, if you're just joining the show, please, here we go. We have someone else just joining us. Maria Cristina. Chris, welcome to the show, Chris. Thank you for joining us. Chris, I just asked the group a question. What I'm wondering is, what grammar books you have used and liked. So I'm going to put some of these on the screen. What do we have? We have Chapman's English Grammar. Okay, good. I'm familiar with that book, and it is an excellent book. Great. Chapman's English Grammar. Maki says, my all-time favorite is Practical English Usage by Michael Swan. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Michael Swan. He's excellent. He's an excellent grammarian. And I'm very familiar with that book. I've used it myself. It's excellent. And actually tonight, later on, at the end of the show, I'm going to introduce another of Michael Swan's books that he collaborated with another scholar. perhaps next week I'll talk about this book. I'm going to start a little bit of a closing segment on the show, guys, at the end of which I'm going to introduce some new books every week. Who else is here? We have Nayana from Sri Lanka. Nayana, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. Great to have you with us. I'm just asking the group a question. Maybe a little survey, I guess it is. I want to know what grammar books you have used that you found useful and helpful, and share it with the group here. If you'll forgive me, guys, things are a little clunky these days. I'm doing everything remotely because I no longer have my wife helping me with the engineering. When I first started streaming this in 2020 and 2021, she would help me, clicking on all the graphics and stuff. But she's no longer able to on Friday evenings. So I'm on my own. So forgive me if the graphics are less than professional. I'll do my best. So yeah, we've had Chapman's English Grammar, excellent text. We've also had Practical English Usage by Michael Swan. Anyone else have a favorite grammar book? I'll show you one of my favorites at the end of the show. Each week, in fact, I'll introduce you to a different one. And one of the reasons I like to do this is that hopefully you guys will get a copy. And I'm going to introduce books that are different price points. If you're a business owner or a teacher, maybe you can afford a more expensive text. But if you're a learner, we like some of the more affordable texts, some of which aren't that good. So I want to point out some affordable textbooks that are excellent in their content, but cheap enough that anyone can pick them up. One of the things I suggest also is that everyone have a grammar book. It's great that you ask me questions, but it's also good to study yourself, because when you're digging into a grammar book yourself to find an answer to a doubt or a question, you really learn in a better way than you can if you don't actually actively research and study. I mean, even I do that. Even I sometimes am not 100% sure about something, and I'll research it. So we never stop learning. There's a lot of ways to learn. Okay, we have Nayana. I think, Nayana, this is the first time you've watched the show, right? I don't recognize you from previous shows, so welcome to the group. Some of the people here are regular watchers and viewers. In fact, a couple of people were here at my very, very first show almost 3 years ago. Well, 2.5 years ago in autumn. Well, I guess it was autumn 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic. What does Chris say? Chris says, it exists only from English to other languages. Verb grammar pivots, beginner to pre-intermediate, grammar verb pivots, the language gym. Okay, I see, yeah. Okay, that's still very useful. Excellent. And Katya says, is there any difference between American English grammar and the Canadian English grammar? Thanks in advance for your answer. Well, that's something I talk about every week, basically, because we're always investigating different grammar questions and issues. And one of the things that often comes up is that we find that some of the differences between this saying and this saying aren't grammatical at all. They're just differences in usage according to different language cultures, namely the US and Canada and the UK or Australia. Let me put it this way. All English grammar is built from British English because that's the originator of the language, right? Canada was originally a British colony in our first 100 years. So we followed the British education system pretty closely. We developed our own accent in Canada, but our education system is built on the British model. So I would say Canadian grammar tends to follow British grammar more closely. Some people believe that means Canadian grammar is more correct than American grammar. Because remember, the American country was founded by separating from England in a war of independence. So they rejected the English influence. whereas Canada maintained it and to some degree still does. So, and because US was a very multicultural place, different cities and different regions developed their own variations on English grammar. I don't like to say it's not correct, just because it doesn't follow the British standard that Canadian grammar does. Some of the expressions that the Americans use grammatically don't follow the logic of the grammar, in my opinion, in which case they don't convey the meaning that they should. However, if everyone in that culture understands it, it's fine. So there are little differences, and we do talk about these things on this show, but I'll give you one example right away. In Canada or the UK, we would say, not everyone can be rich, right? Not everyone can be rich. So some people can be rich, but not everyone. Not 100% of people can be rich. But of course, we know that some people are rich. So that grammar seems to make sense because it doesn't say everyone, it says not everyone, so less than 100% of people. However, in the US, they say everyone can't be rich or cannot be rich. What does that mean? Well, let's actually make this really clear. Everyone cannot be rich. So that means 100% of people cannot be rich. Well, that means nobody can be rich. That's not true. That makes no sense. But when an American says that, they mean not everybody. Not everybody can be rich. Not everyone. Less than 100%. But that's not what this grammar communicates. This grammar communicates that everyone cannot be rich. 100% of the people cannot be rich. So, in my opinion, this grammar is flawed because it communicates a different meaning. This means that nobody can be rich. 100% of people cannot be rich. That's a different idea than I think they intend. And certainly doesn't fit reality. We just have a new joiner, Fatima. Welcome, Fatima. I think you've joined us before. And Fatima is in Pakistan. Welcome. We also have my friend Tirath. Tirath is a great English teacher in Nepal. Very far away from me, but very close in spirit. And it's Dipawali. Dipawali to all. Oh, Dipawali is the holiday festival. Happy Dipawali to you too, Tirath. Hopefully you're doing well these days. I am new here. I'm a member of Writer's Cravings. I found your channel useful to me. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much for joining us and for watching the channel. Well, guys, we've got a good group with us tonight. I think it's time to get to our English mystery. So if you'd give me a moment to get things set up, we'll get right on it. So yes, there are differences between Canadian and American grammar usage. Now, there's a wide variety of people in the world, and there's a wide variety of people in the US and Canada. Not everyone in Canada has standard grammar, and not everyone in America uses a flawed grammar structure like I showed you, right? A lot of it depends on education levels, unfortunately, economic positions. It depends on whether or not someone likes language and cares enough to develop their language or not. A lot of different factors. Okay, now that I have your attention, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get to this week's English mystery. And we have an excellent question sent earlier in the week by someone who's viewing the show with us tonight. So just bear with me for a moment. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, every week I answer a main question and we can focus our questions on it, but hopefully answer this question. And this one was sent to us by Ms. Maki, who's with us in the crowd. So here's her question.
Hi, Teacher Paul. I need your help. I have some words that I want to use with confidence. These words are so, very, and to. For example, I would say, I like this shirt very much. I like this shirt so much. I like this shirt too much. What's the difference among those words? And I'm also wondering if these words behave differently in negative sentences.
Excellent question, and let's get to it. It's an excellent question because there's kind of two questions in it. One is, what are the differences? We have three words, they're words, and Ms. Maki wants to know the differences. She's also asking, do these differences or meanings change in a negative sentence? So we'll get to this in 1 second. I just want to say hello quickly to an old friend and student, Victor from South Korea. Long time no see, sometimes I miss your class, best of the best. Thank you very much, Victor. I miss you. But I have seen you on social media playing tennis. So hopefully you're staying active and fit and healthy. Okay. Sorry, guys. Yes, okay. Thank you, Victor. Okay, guys, let's talk about this. Especially when we're going to compare one or two words or three, I always want to take a look at the similarities and the differences. We're going to compare and contrast, okay? And we're going to compare and contrast on different levels. We're going to talk about the meaning of each word. Because even little words like so and very and to, even little words have a meaning. It's important to know the meaning so you can see where they're different or similar. I'd also like to look at the part of speech or the word form. Is it an adjective, an adverb, a noun, a verb? We need to know that stuff, especially if we're comparing the similarities and differences. And then we'll also take a look at how it's used, because even if they're similar in meaning or similar in form, they may be used differently, okay? So let's go to the dictionary. The dictionary is a great source of information, and I'm a big fan of dictionaries. And I believe any student who really wants to understand a language should use a dictionary as well. So let's take a look. So what does so mean? First of all, it's an adverb. That's really useful information. So is an adverb. Okay? What does that mean? It means it modifies verbs, but an adverb can also modify an adjective or another adverb. We'll get to that. But the fact that it's an adverb is very useful. Let's look at the meaning of this word. It means to such a great degree. Okay? It's also synonymous with very. So the meaning is similar to very. Okay? It has another meaning, which is used to refer back to something that's already been mentioned. That's useful. So we kind of have three shades of meaning here, or two really. Okay? Let's compare that to very. Good news is very is also an adverb. That's interesting. So the part of speech is adverb. But the meaning might be a little different. So it says here, used before adjectives, adverbs, and determiners. Determiners are like articles, the, a, but they can also be my, our, like pronouns. So adverbs can be used before adjectives and adverbs. So can also do that job. It also means in a high degree, right? Sort of like so, or extremely. So there's some overlap here, right? There's some shared meaning and shared function. Because they're adverbs, they can do similar things. So far, so and very are similar. Let's look at to. To is also an adverb. Great. So now all three words are similar in part of speech. They're all adverbs. That's helpful. And again, used before adjectives and adverbs to say that something is more than good. More than good. Now what the hell does more than good mean? This is different. So and very didn't say that. Well, if something is more than good, I want you to understand this. If something is more than good, does that make it excellent or bad? Right? Think about this. If I have water or tea or coffee in my cup, I can say there is enough water. It's enough for me to drink. I do not need to fill more. But if I said I have too much water in my cup, too much water, that means more than good. That sounds to me like the water is pouring over the cup and making a mess of my floor. That doesn't sound good anymore. That sounds like more than good becoming bad. Okay? So and very didn't talk about that aspect of the meaning. So that's unique to the word to. Okay? There's another meaning here that we can use, which means also or as well or in addition to. So whereas so and very were pretty similar, looks like to is a bit different. Okay? To is a bit different. So now what I'd like to do is look at a few examples and test these words. Because if so and very are similar, that means in a sentence they should be able to act in similar ways. Maybe we can even substitute one or the other with no change of meaning. And then let's try to and see what happens to the sentence. Okay? So, oh gosh, I just realized something. Okay, actually, let's do a little comparison chart here. So, each word is an adverb. They share that. Oops. They share that similarity. This graphic cuts my head off. So all of them are adverbs, and so meant to a high degree. Very also meant that, or to such a degree. And to meant more than good. Wasn't there another part? To can also mean also. Let's just double check that. To also meant, well, used before adjectives and adverbs is talking about use, not what it means. So to has this extra piece of meaning, right? And it doesn't mean to such a high degree. It means to a degree that's more than good. So I want to suggest that this is a bit of a negative meaning, right? Now I want to add a couple of things that are not in the dictionary definition. Because these are adverbs, it did say that adverbs can be used in front of adjectives or other adverbs. And generally where adverbs are in front of an adjective is when they are intensifiers. Okay? And I'll give you an example in a second. So all of them can be intensifier. An example of that would be, let's say, the movie. The movie was exciting, right? And so here we have our subject, our verb, and we have an adjective, right? The movie was exciting. Well, we can take that adjective and make it stronger, right? We can add very, right? And that's an adverb. And what does it do? It makes exciting stronger. The movie wasn't just regular exciting, it was very exciting, right? That's what an intensifier does. It intensifies the adjective. Okay, but here's something I want to add. Gosh, my graphic has disappeared. Come back, graphic. Okay, so can do something else that very and to cannot do. I think some of you know what it is. So can act as a conjunction. What does a conjunction do? Well, it joins two sentences, right? So for example, we can say, I love pizza, so I eat it every day, right? Subject, verb, object. Subject, verb, adverb. So we have a clause and a clause, independent clause, independent clause. Let's put a comma here. So conjoins them, connects them. So is also a conjunction. We can't do that with very. We can't say, I love pizza. Very, I eat it every day. Doesn't work. We can't do that with to. I love pizza. To, I eat it every day. Garbage. Doesn't work. Okay, so only so can act like a conjunction. So that's one of its unique characteristics, right? I'm going to have to clear this. So now you know something about so. It has the power to be a conjunction, and these do not. That's cool. That's a special power. So if you're rating them, so far, so seems more useful. Okay, let's test something though. The movie was very exciting. What if I said, I saw sorry guys. What if I said, I saw an exciting movie? If so, very, and to are all adverbs, they should be able to intensify an adjective, as here. So this one's fine. The movie was very exciting. I saw an exciting movie. Can we say, I saw a very exciting movie? Let's check. Well, now we have a consonant instead of a vowel, so we'll have to take away the N. I saw a very exciting movie. So far, so good. And very is intensifying the adjective, and there's your noun down there. I saw a very exciting movie. So that works. And that works because very is an adverb, and adverbs can intensify adjectives. Now let's interchange these and see what we can do. The movie was very exciting. Let's try to. Or rather, let's try so. The movie was so exciting. Can we say that? What about, I saw a so exciting movie? Right? How about, the movie was too exciting? What about, I saw a too exciting movie? If you think some of these sentences are sounding awkward now, you're correct. They are a little awkward. One moment, guys. Just want to say hello to Nick Darwin, a great singer and songwriter in Brazil who's been on the show several times. Nick's got a new single out, I think, a new video. Nick, please, by all means, put the link to your video in the chat box and share with the group. We also have Anashtaya with us. Teacher Paul is so cool and very handsome. Was that too much? A little bit. Okay, let's get back to business, guys. So the movie was very exciting. We said that was fine. The movie was so exciting. Now, let me tell you, that's a very common expression, using so to intensify an adjective. Think of other examples like, that restaurant is so exciting, so delicious. The pizza was so great. This is a very common usage. I'll explain in a moment why that works, but I'll also tell you that it's slightly problematic, okay? But it's commonly used. It's kind of used most of the time in a slang or conversational way. I've actually seen data that said it's often used, it's used more, it tends to be used more by women than by men. Women tend to use so with an adjective more often than men do. Regardless, I'll show you in a moment why that works. It does work, but if you're writing an academic paper, I would stay away from it, and I'll show you why in a minute. The movie was too exciting. Did you like the movie or not? Right? Remember, too, it's an adverb, so it can be in front of the adjective. No problem. That's what an adverb can do. But we also said it's got this more than good meaning, which is slightly negative. Too much water, more than I need, more than is good, is going to make a mess. So if you said the movie was too exciting, maybe it sounds like the movie was too exciting and I had a heart attack, so I had to leave the theater, right? Or I could not watch it all. It was too exciting, I couldn't handle it. Or too sad, I was crying, right? So it implies this negative idea, okay? It works grammatically, but you can see how the meaning shifts, right? Down here, I saw a too exciting movie. Starting to seem a little bit awkward, right? Too exciting. Maybe there's a better word we can use. Sometimes if you have an adverb intensifying the adjective, like very, very is kind of a boring word. If we say very exciting, we can find a more exciting adjective and replace both of them, right? You could say the movie was exhilarating. Well, that means very exciting. Or if the movie was boring, you can say the movie was terrible. Or, I don't know, what's a word for boring? I don't know. Let me think about it. Okay, down here, if we said, I saw a very exciting movie, of course you can say again, incredibly exciting movie. I saw an incredible movie. There's other adjectives you can use, right? We can see, though, that too is a problem because it invokes this negative meaning. Now, let me clear the board here and show you why so in front of an adjective, even though it tends to be used by women more than men, nothing wrong with that. Women are completely entitled to have their own expressions and idioms. That's fine. I'm sure men say things that women wouldn't want to say either, okay? But here's why this works. I saw, sorry, guys. The movie was, right? The movie was so exciting. Well, we said that so can be a conjunction, which means it joins sentences. So what we have here is an expression that has grown out of a compound sentence, a sentence with two sentences or clauses in it. When you say the movie was so exciting, it doesn't really tell us how exciting it was. So isn't really measurable, unless you're in a conversation. In speech, we can intensify the sound of that word, right? I can say, the movie was so exciting. The movie was so exciting. Oh my God, the movie was like so exciting. We can modulate our voice, and that can intensify the intensifier, right? You can't do that with writing because you can't make sounds in writing. So this is okay for conversation, but it's a problem in writing because if you say the movie was so exciting in writing, people are going to read it like the movie was so exciting. So exciting what? Doesn't tell us how exciting. Watch this though. The movie was so exciting. Remember, it can be a conjunction. That I ran out of the cinema. Now look what we have, guys. Movie, subject, verb, was, so exciting, adverb plus adjective. We have a relative pronoun and another subject and another verb. So we have two independent clauses, two complete ideas. The movie was so exciting that this happened, right? Or the movie was so boring that I fell asleep, right? That tells us how boring. That tells us how exciting. So exciting that. So if you're writing and you want to say so in front of an adjective, you should complete it with a that sentence. The movie was so exciting that I ran out of the cinema. The test was so hard that I think I failed. So you need a subject and a verb on the other side of that. The class was so interesting that I took it again. Paul's live stream show is so fun that I watched it next week or the following week. Who's there? Nick Darwin's new song is so beautiful that I cried. Right? That tells you how beautiful the song is. Okay? Check out Nick Darwin on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you find music. He's a great singer-songwriter. Now, can we do this with very? The movie was very exciting that I ran out of the cinema. Doesn't work. That's not a conjunction. How about two? The movie was too exciting that I ran out of the cinema. Doesn't work. That's not a conjunction. We can only do that with so. So is a conjunction and an adverb, so we can join these sentences. Okay. I want to back up because so far we've seen a couple of things that illustrate the differences of these three words. So just a review here, guys. All three of them are adverbs. So and very mean to such a degree or to such a high degree, so they intensify. But to means more than good, which kind of means negative. But it can do an intensifier job. So can very, so can so. They all can intensify adjectives. Okay, that's good. Let's talk about to with this also business. What does that mean? Well, let's say we had a conversation. I love pizza, says person A. Don't know who that is. Person B also loves pizza. So what are they going to say? They're going to say, I do too. Right? I do too. Now, our definition of so, where was it? So? Yeah, so says that the definition says, used to refer back to something that has already been mentioned. That's helpful because that means we can do something similar to this. I love pizza, so do I. So we have this auxiliary verb, and the so means referring back to something that's been mentioned already, which is this verb. So I also love, right? I love too. So it's still working as an adverb because it's referring back to person A, their verb, right? We have to remember in conversations sometimes the sentences people speak are not independent 100% of each other. Sometimes they comment or refer back to something the other person said. Sometimes they complete something another person said, right? Where sometimes we say something in part and the other person completes our sentence. So that's interesting. Let me talk about one more thing, and then we can look at some of your questions about this stuff. Now, Miss Maki in her question asked us, do these adverbs behave differently in negative structures? Well, the answer is basically no. But we do have to think about 2 because 2 is already negative. Okay? So let's say I saw let's try this simple sentence we had before. The movie was exciting. The movie was so exciting. The movie was very exciting. The movie was too exciting. They're all possible grammatically in that structure. Okay? But the 2 has this little bit negative idea. It was too exciting. I couldn't handle it. So the question is, what if this sentence is negative? How do we make the negative sentence? The movie was not so exciting. Not so exciting. What does that mean? Remember, so exciting meant intensified exciting, right? Exciting to a high degree. Not tells us that it's not exciting to a high degree. Does that mean it's just plain old exciting? Why don't we just say that? It was not exciting. Well, if you leave the so in there, it means it was sort of exciting, but not intensely exciting. Okay, so it's bringing it down a little bit. Not so exciting doesn't mean boring, right? If the so wasn't there and you said the movie was exciting, and then you said the movie was not exciting, you could replace those 2 words with the word boring. The movie was boring, totally not exciting. But the fact that there's so here, and then you put the negative, means it was not intensely exciting. It was sort of exciting. It wasn't boring. It just wasn't super exciting. And the same thing with very. If you say it's very exciting, it means it's intensely exciting. And if you say it's not very exciting, that doesn't mean it's boring. It just means it's not intensely exciting. If you said the movie was too exciting, that means it's very exciting to the point where you can't take it. It's more than good, it's more than exciting. And then you add the not, what does that mean? Well, that would probably imply that the movie was just good old-fashioned exciting, not too exciting. So it didn't go over the limit. I was able to sit in the theater and watch the whole movie. I didn't have to run away. I didn't have a heart attack. It was kind of exciting. So you can see that not adjusts this. In other words, putting the negative really points to this, the intensification or the negativization. It doesn't point to the exciting. The exciting remains, right? If you didn't have the intensifier, then it would be not exciting, which equals boring. But the fact that the intensifier is there, the not is referring to it, not the exciting. Leave the exciting alone. It's still exciting, right? Now, there's one thing I want to mention here. The other example I had was I watched an exciting movie. And up here, the movie was not so exciting. That's a pretty unique structure because we have a be verb, right? And over here, we have an adjective. So this is basically a complement. Subject, be verb, complement. And that can behave that way. But what happens when we have a subject, verb, object, and then adjective? I watched a so exciting, very exciting, or too exciting. One of the words doesn't quite work, and that is so. That's a pretty awkward structure. You could probably say it, but it starts to suggest that I watched a so exciting movie that. It wants to be a conjunction in that structure, right? I watched a very exciting movie. That works. I watched a too exciting movie. That works too, but it implies that the movie was too exciting, therefore negative, right? So I would say that in a subject-verb-object structure, so doesn't quite fit, and which is different than here. Okay. Now in this structure, what if we had a negative structure? Well, in that kind of sentence, the negative refers to the verb. I did not watch a very exciting movie. Well, that implies that the movie, not only was it not very exciting, you didn't watch it. Right? So it doesn't really change this meaning over here. It just tells us that you didn't do the action. So that's worth noticing because it is a little bit different, right? I just want to say quickly hello to Wilson, who's just joined us. And we have a couple questions coming in. By the way, guys, here is Nick's, you got this, you got this. I don't know what that means, but sounds good, Nick. Oh, Roni is with us. Roni from Bangladesh. Welcome, Roni. And I'll get to your question in 1 second, Nick. Let me just clear the board. So I hope that answers your question, Maki, about the differences and similarities between these words. And the negativity. I guess we could also do this, actually. We could say, I watched a not very exciting movie, or I watched a not too exciting movie. That's possible. But that's a lot of words too, right? Not very exciting movie. If it's not very exciting, wouldn't we just say boring and replace all three words? My personal philosophy is one word is better than two is better than three. That's three words we don't need. I try to stay away from negative structures if it's possible. Make it a positive grammatical structure, even if you need a negative meaning word. It's just more elegant to have fewer words. But that is possible. And these words don't change. I think if we say not so exciting movie, that becomes possible. But then we better put a little hyphen there. Not so exciting movie. Because now we're adding all of this as an adjective structure. Hopefully that makes sense. Berta is with us. Hello, Berta, from Colombia, I think. I don't remember. Okay, I'm going to clear this off. Maki, I hope that answers your question. If it doesn't, perhaps we can revisit it another time. I better clear all the board. So that's so, very, and to. Nick, I think you might have missed part of this discussion about 10 minutes ago where I talked about that. But let me just review that example. One of the characteristics of so is that it can work. Let me put Nick's question up. So can work as a conjunction. And a conjunction has a very simple job, which is joining clauses, independent clauses, right? Conjunctions, right? You know these conjunctions, the basic conjunctions are for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. And these comprise the fanboys. Fanboys. That's a way to remember it. Fanboys. And these join sentences, right? Or clauses, independent clauses. Independent clauses have a subject and a verb. And they can have other words, but they definitely have to have a subject and a verb. Subject and a verb on the other side. So you can have a sentence like Nick's, Nick sings and he, sorry guys, and he plays guitar. Okay? Nick plays guitar. Nick sings. Two independent clauses. We can connect them with a conjunction. Nick sings and he plays guitar. Or, let's try another one. I love pizza. So, I eat it every day. That was our earlier example. And by the way, every day is two words because it's a time adverb. When it's one word, it's an adjective, like everyday pen, everyday pen. Anyways, I love pizza. I eat it every day. Those are two independent clauses. They can exist on their own. And we can connect them with so. And so means something too. So means therefore, or because of this, this happened. Okay? Now, when we make that structure with the adjectives, the movie was exciting. And we said earlier that it's common for people to say the movie was so exciting. It's often said, it's often used in speech. But it's not really a complete idea. The complete way to use this is to tell us what that so means. Because in speech you can just intensify the word and say, the movie was so exciting. But you can't do that in writing. So the full expression is, the movie was so exciting that I had a heart attack. Gosh, scary. Right? The movie was so exciting that I had a heart attack. And here, the so is it's really the so and the that together that join this subject and verb with this subject and verb, right? So you have to use them together. You can't just use that. You cannot do this. The movie was exciting that I had a heart attack. That doesn't work, Nick. Doesn't work. Why? Because that is not a conjunction. It's just not. That has another job. It's a relative pronoun, right? It connects the adjective clause. If you have an adjective clause, which we don't, we have a separate clause. It's a connective. Here, it's working with so. These work together to complete the idea that the movie was so exciting. How exciting? So exciting that I had a heart attack. Okay? Hopefully that answers your question, Nick. So Maki says, thank you, Teacher Paul. Yes, everything is clear now. That's lovely. We have Fuad joining us. Fuad, thank you for joining the show. Wonderful to have you here. Okay, so this is a little different. Sorry, Nick, I thought you meant replacing so with that. Well, the simple answer is yes, you can say that. Is it grammatically accurate? I would say no, and here's why. We said that so can intensify exciting because so is an adverb and exciting here is an adjective, right? Let me just check something in my little dictionary here. Bear with me 1 second, guys. The movie was not so exciting. The movie was not that exciting. This is Nick's question, and it's a good one. Let me just clarify something. Okay. Yes. The movie was not so exciting. So we can use this because adverbs can be used to intensify adjectives. That's why we're allowed to use it. However, that is not an adverb. That is what we call a determiner. And it can be used as a pronoun or a relative pronoun. Okay, it's not an adverb. So its job is not really to intensify the adjective. We said earlier that to was an adverb, right? To. And to has this negative meaning. So if you replace so with to, it was not too exciting, right? It was sort of exciting, but not exciting to the point where I had a heart attack. Remember, if you said the movie was too exciting, it means it was past exciting to the point of being dangerous. It was too exciting. I couldn't stand it any longer. So the negative meaning of to is applied to exciting. And if you said negative here, not too exciting, the not applies to the to and leaves the exciting. So it wasn't intensely exciting, but it was still exciting. I think what's happened over time, Nick, is that instead of saying not too exciting, people have replaced it with that exciting. Yeah, I think that has just happened in conventional use because that shouldn't be able to do this job. It shouldn't be able to intensify the adjective. It's not an adverb, so it doesn't have that property of intensifying. I think also this has arisen over time in speech because you could say the movie was not so exciting that I ran away. It was too exciting, I couldn't handle it, so I ran away. The movie was not so exciting that I ran away. Maybe that longer structure has been abbreviated and people brought that into this position. This is how sentences contract over time as people use them over and over again, and especially in conversation, things get shortened and abbreviated and tucked in. So in the answer to your question, it's possible to say the movie was not that exciting. Is it grammatically perfect or accurate? Probably not, but it doesn't matter if everyone uses it conventionally. Because remember that triangle, guys, that I'm always talking about. Form, grammar, meaning, or semantics in the idea, and use. Language is always interacting with all of those three elements. If over time people use it this way, and therefore they all understand each other, then it's perfectly legitimate and becomes accurate. And eventually even ends up in the dictionary. Okay? So you certainly have my permission to use it, Nick. I'm not going to say you can't use it. But to is really the accurate way to say that. Same idea. So why not use to? I think I need to say hello to someone here. Bertha says, yes, I'm from Colombia. There was a power cut in my neighborhood, so that's why I'm joined later, and now I'm trying to understand what you're talking about. Don't forget, Bertha, this show is recorded, and it will be on my YouTube channel tomorrow morning. You can see this will be episode number 84, I think. 84. So you can watch the whole show in its recorded mode. No problem. It looks like we have spammer with us. We don't want spammers, do we? We have someone from Argentina joining us. Hello, Susana from Argentina. Thank you for joining us. We have, maybe this is Susana. You're welcome, Nick. Well, guys, I'm going to say that if Maki is happy with her answer, that must mean that today's investigation the case is closed. And we've answered Maki's English mystery. Hopefully you're happy with the answer, Maki. And again, if there's still some doubts or confusions, we can talk another time about those. So guys, just to remind you, if you want your question to form the basis of an episode, email me your video, less than 30 seconds. Email me a video with you asking the question, okay? Ask me your English question, and I'll build the show around it the same way I did today with Maki's question. And send it to hardboiledenglish6@gmail.com. Or you can connect with me on social media. All my links are in the description box. And we can transfer a video any other way. What else I want to mention? Find me on social media, at Hardboiled English, at The Grammar Detective, hashtag The Grammar Detective. Check out my YouTube channel, The Grammar Detective. You can support the show at buymeacoffee.com/hardboiled. All of donations go to the production costs of the live show. I like the show to be free for everyone, but it does cost me money to make it every week. So if you're feeling generous, please consider donating to the production cost, www.buymeacoffee.com/hardboiled. You can also enroll in my online writing workshop if you want to get some help with your online writing, academic writing, essay writing, creative writing. Go to www.writingworkshop.thinkific.com and you can enroll in my online course. Still under construction. I'm still working on it, and therefore it's available at a very low cost. But again, if you want me to answer your English questions on the show, send me your video and you'll be the star of the English mystery yourself. hardboiledenglish6@gmail.com. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Yay! Great. Berta, thank you very much. Thank you very much. My mission in life is to bring you excellent grammar investigations, Chris, so I'm glad you enjoyed. I can see something when you do come closer to the camera, the view is much better. Interesting. You mean the image is sharper? I have to think about the focus. One of the challenges with the camera work here is that it's really important for you guys to see the words on the board in focus. You don't have to see me in focus. There's nothing too sharp about me anyway. But if I stand closer, it's a different focal point than the board. So I also want to mention, guys, I asked you earlier about grammar books, and Maki mentioned Practical English Usage by Michael Swan. Now I'd like to mention to you one of my favorite grammar books, and I'm going to do this every week as part of the show. This is one of my favorites, and I'll tell you a little story about it. This is called How English Works, and it's by Michael Swan, a noted grammarian, and Catherine Walter. Now, actually, I didn't purchase this book. It's not too big. My wife purchased this book. When I met her, I was not an English teacher yet. She is the one who inspired me to become an English teacher. When I met her, though, she was an English student studying in Canada. And this is the textbook she was using from her language school. And as we dated, I would help her with her homework sometimes. And that inspired me to be an English teacher. But as you can see, it's got highlighted examples. It's got explanations. It talks about the form very clearly. It gives examples of how it's used. It explains the meaning. And it even has some simple illustrations to give you some context, which really helps grasping use. I think this book is available for around $20 Canadian. I'll put a link below if you want to purchase a copy. It's an excellent book. I recommend it for intermediate level or above. Even for advanced level, if you want to review some grammar, it's comprehensive. It's got all kinds of expressions and grammar structures in here. It's got exercises you can do with answers to the exercises. Right? It's got an answer key at the back of the book. It's not too large, so you can manage it. It talks about adverbs, as we have here, verb forms, prepositions, everything. An excellent book. For example, if someone has no grammar book in their collection, I would think about starting with this one, or the one Mackie recommended, Practical English Usage, also by Michael Swan. Michael Swan has lots of books online available, but I like this one as a beginner book, as a starter book. There you go. How English Works. And if you want to get a copy, you can purchase a copy on the Amazon link below in the description box. Okay? How English Works. One of my favorites. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me tonight. It's been a pleasure to be your grammar detective once again. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Facebook user, whoever you are. Great to have you with me. Welcome. And great show, Paul. Nick, by the way, guys, Nick's new music is out. It's fantastic. And I'm going to attach a link to his YouTube video when I post this on YouTube. I'm going to put it at the end so you can find it easily. Check out his new song. It's fantastic. And Nick, I hope you'll join me on the show again and maybe do some performing. We did that last year at Christmas and it was great. So maybe at Christmas you can sing us a Christmas song, Nick. I hope to see you soon anyway. Guys, thank you for joining me. As always, it's an honor. I'm humbled to be able to do this with you guys and connect with friends all over the world. I look forward to this every week. Oh, Best Grammar Detective Honor. Thank you, On the Spot Experiential Learning. Thank you very much. I will do my best. As I said, this is one of the highlights of my week. It's the end of my week. I've been teaching my private clients all week. So this is my chance to have some fun and connect with all of you guys, most importantly. Of course, Tirith, it's my honor. It's a pleasure. Yeah, guys, so thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next Friday. Until that time, guys, I want you to take care, stay healthy, and as always, please stay cool. Thanks for watching tonight's show. If you have an English grammar question, an English mystery, contact me on social media and send me a video of you asking the question. I'll investigate it on a future show. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button to get all the updates about videos and events. If you're feeling generous, you can also donate to the production costs of the show at Patreon or buy me a coffee. Finally, until the next time I see you on Hardboiled English Live, I want you to keep learning English. Stay healthy and stay cool.